Hi my friends, I am Sarah from gracemyspace.com and I am back today and we are gonna talk about decorating for fall. But we're gonna do it without pumpkins and without all the kitschy decor. This is the time of year when you feel the crispness in the morning and you feel like fall decorating is just around the corner. But you are not ready for pumpkins. Nope. So I am gonna share some tips for how to kind of ease into the fall decorating season, late summer, early fall, or really as far as you wanna go into the fall season without all of that overtly fall decor. And that way you can kind of stretch your seasons a little bit and not feel like you're missing out on end of summer. And you're just you're getting a little bit into the next season without being like, boom, pumpkin spice. So the first thing that I wanna start with is editing. Editing is like the #1 tactic that people either are scared to do or they just don't think to do before each season's decorating spree happens. For a lot of people, editing feels wasteful. And what I mean when I say editing is just removing things that don't fit anymore. So they might fit for a few different reasons. Either it doesn't fit your style any longer, it doesn't fit your needs any longer, it doesn't fit the season any longer, maybe even it's broken or in need of repair, but it still kind of works. Those are the things that you want to really take a minute before you do any planning and just edit your home. Remove the things completely from the room that you're working on. And some of them are pieces that you're not going to toss or sell or donate. They're gonna be something you store for next season. But other things, you might just wanna get rid of it. So when I'm editing a room, I usually end up with 4 piles at the end of it. 1 for donation, 1 for trash, 1 for storing, and then 1 for selling. So today I'm gonna use a couple of rooms in my home to give you examples of this. Let's get started. So let's start first with the display cabinet here. I DIY'd this, I love it. It's my favorite thing ever. It displays all of my pretties and they don't get dust on them. Right now it's feeling a little spring summery. It's got some tulips, it's got a lot of greenery up here. Everything else is pretty generic. And I'm gonna show you how you can change the entire look of this with 2 things. All right, now I did not need to edit anything out of my China hutch, but I'm going to swap some things. And the only thing that I'm gonna swap is the greenery or the florals. All the vessels that they were in, I'm gonna keep the same because really the only thing making this feel summery is the greenery. Ooh, look what's in here. This is perfect for fall. I didn't even remember I had this. I don't know about you, but I stack just about anything I can to get the height that I need inside of baskets like this. So when the greenery wasn't full enough, I had to, adapt. Now I have a variety of stems. I really am not a fan of faux stems, but there are a few that I think work pretty well. This is a cute one. The majority of my fall foliage is dried. I really like dried eucalyptus. This is the silver dollar. This is regular mixed. That's what they call it. And then I also got this mustardy baby's breath from a antique store for $1, which is really full and it's gonna be really pretty. Wait till you see it. So for a wide mouth basket like this, I need something that has a lot of oomph, a lot of fullness, something like this, except I didn't buy enough. 2 is never enough. That's not enough. One of the things that I've been working on all summer is drying hydrangeas. So these are fresh, these are dry. Once I have enough of them, this would actually be perfect for this basket, but I don't have enough yet, so we'll save that for later. Instead, I'm gonna try out this plum eucalyptus. This always makes such a big mess. Now, one of the things that you can do with dried eucalyptus is break it up as much as you need to, but you can't really bend it like floral wire. So you just kind of got to work with the craziness that it is. I have a vase inside of here to give it some structure and so that it doesn't just sink right to the bottom. Isn't it pretty? All right, so this is one bundle. Quite obviously, that's not enough. I had more in my office, but it's a little different color, which I think is fine. I'm gonna front load it because no one's gonna see the back. If this was something I was gonna put on my kitchen island or on a dining table, then I would wanna make the fullness equal all the way around, but it's gonna be smushed up against a wall because the purpose of this basket is actually to hide an ugly grate that's on my wall. So we're gonna use the fullness as much as we can on the front and the sides. You just gotta smush it. Play with it until it stands up where you want it to, where it falls where you want it to, and then pray to the Lord that it stays where you have it. All right, next I had these empty paper mache bowls in there. I love these paper mache bowls. I've got my $1 baby's breath, but you can also, I will put a link for you for a really nice purchasable option that you can actually go buy because I have bought other colors in this as well from this source and it's really nice. These are from the antique store and they feel grungy, I'm gonna be honest. They feel wet and like I could have a mildew problem. But I'm gonna see how long they'll last. They were only $1. We're gonna separate them as much as possible, and since this is such a shallow bowl, I'm gonna have to do a lot of cutting because clearly that's not gonna work. I'm gonna use a floral frog. This is actually an antique one. It is extremely heavy and can you see it? It's got little pokies in there and that's what your stems go into so that they stand up. So they stand upright. I'm gonna use tin snips for my baby's breath because, ooh, see? Because it's what I have on hand and I don't wanna go find wire cutters or gardening shears. So I'm just gonna kind of like put it in, see how tall it is, and then do my clipping. Because I'm gonna want the center to be tall. My floral frog is failing me miserably. There we go. I want the center to be taller and then it to go like a dome almost. I gotta look at the front. And you guys are gonna be surprised when I turn it around now, instead of me trying to style it from the back. This issue that people make, including myself, because I'm actually not good at this, is not separating their stems before they add them, like taking a clump and going boom and being done. That's what makes it look like you took a clump and went boom and then you were done. You have to separate your stems to get that fullness effect. Okay, that looks dumb. It's too tall. I'm gonna have to take it all out and redo it. I have a thought. Flower arranging 0.01. What not to do to get a professional looking flower arrangement. It worked. I'm gonna make you wait to see the front. You trust me, right? Now we're gonna take out the spring. Use paper in this one. This has been in the China hutch from probably February until now, late August. And it just kind of goes to show that you really don't need to change up things all that often because things like that can stretch seasons. So far in this China hutch, we've got kind of a mustardy, delicate baby's breath. We have a plum, burgundy, eucalyptus, and this is gonna be in the middle of those two. So I wanna keep those color schemes in mind when I finish this one off. So I think I'm gonna go with this really neutral pick. kind of flower is this? It's a fall flower, that's what the tag says. All right, so we're gonna make sure and bend out each individual stem so that it looks a little bit more realistic, even though it's a faux stem. This can help with that. Taking off the price tag, that is a very large help. Also, sometimes if the leaves look extra fake, I will remove some of them so that they're not so overpowering, but we'll see how this looks once we get it in here. So one of them I'm gonna keep intact and the other one I'm gonna cut up. Here we go. Look how pretty it is. All right, so now what we have here is a color palette that feels fall, but also a little summery with some of the golden tones in here. And it's not overtly fall, it's definitely not summery. It's just kind of that like happy medium in between stage. I'm gonna share a quick tip for shelf styling when you have multiple shelves so that it doesn't feel overdone or underdone or blah or bland. I always stick to a fairly neutral color palette, but the key is actually to stick to a color palette. It doesn't have to be neutral. So you can see in here I have a lot of wood tones, which are also mimicked in like the wicker baskets and the hyacinth basket. I also have black as some accent colors. And then I have pottery, which is all kind of a tannish, creamy limestone and terracotta. You can see that even though the paper mache is not the same material, it's a similar color and it goes diagonally right down, so it draws your eye from top to bottom. And then over here I have some black and some black accents so that it's drawing your eye this way. And then I have the wood accents, top, side, bottom. So everything's either at a diagonal or in a triangle, and that helps bounce your eye around the space, but it still feels cohesive. Another tip for shelf styling is a variance of height. So you're gonna want some pieces that are low, some pieces that are high, and just like with this piece, I had to elevate it to get the height that I wanted with some books underneath. This is also elevated with some pretty books that kind of act as decor. And then even within groupings, I've put this pottery on a pedestal so that you've got tall, medium, small in a triangle type grouping. Make sure to also layer in some single pieces so that you're not completely grouped and overwhelming the space. And then play around with things like filler. You can see I have this paper mache bowl is empty, this one is full of filler. I think if both of them had flowers in them, it would be a little overpowering, or it could be a really awesome statement to maybe, if I had 3 bowls, line them up right here in the middle, all with baby's breath. That would be beautiful. But it's a very intentional change, whereas this is letting these ones be the ones that make a statement and letting this be a cohesive addition that's not overpowering. All right, now the next space that we're gonna do is the living room. This is where the editing is really gonna start coming in for me. I don't have a ton of decor out, but what I do have feels really spring summery, so we're gonna swap it out. I intentionally made this piece of textile art so that these could be pulled off pretty easily. If I want to do another cutout with fall foliage or leaves or something, I could easily create a new fall vibe with this, but I have something in mind that I want for this space. So this one is just going into storage. So the next edit that I'll do is taking textiles, blankets and pillows, swapping them out for a different weight. So these blankets are perfect for summer, early fall, but they're not heavy enough really for late fall. So we'll swap them out for different textiles that not only have a weight, like this is a wool blanket, a weight to them that is perfect for the season, but also just the visual appeal. This feels very autumn, whereas these feel very summer. I really love using my hooks for blankets. This has been such an awesome way to store our blankets that we use daily, because instead of just being thrown on the floor, it's so easy to pop it right here. You don't have to fold it, you don't have to drape it on anything. You just put it on the hook and it serves as decor too. What I do when I am done with a seasonal blanket is I will wash it and then store it as decor, because textiles make a really lovely bottom shelf for a console table. All right, let's talk about pillows. I have a lot of pillows. Our family uses our pillows hard. We do not use throw pillows as decor, though they are pretty to look at. These are used every single day when we have guests over. Usually they're like afraid to sit on our pillows. Pillows are made for using. So I'm gonna show you how I swap out. These are heavy, guys. I'm gonna swap some out and make it feel a little bit less summery and a little bit more fall. One of the things that I like to do is take a piece of art or a rug or some other kind of colorful piece and pull the colors out of it to disperse into the room. So this piece of art has plum, various shades of green, it has some purple, it has browns, it has a little bit of blue, it has some of those golden tones in it, and it is the perfect piece for fall to pull out and then disperse it into the rest of the color scheme. Okay, so I'm gonna try a few different arrangements on the coffee table. This guy right here was a bit too tall for practicality purposes, so I'm gonna play around with a different arrangement. All right, there's something about those golden tones that are really throwing me off in my living room. So what I'm gonna do is try and keep those golden tones, but tone them down and have them be more of like this golden brown color. But I want to keep some of those pink elements, the mauve. This is that source that I told you about for colored baby's breath. I'm gonna order more of it because it's actually really nice and it doesn't feel like it's decaying like the stuff did that I got from the antique store. I am going to use these pinks, pair it with the golden brown, and incorporate that color this way. I used to be afraid of cutting my stems shorter because I thought to myself, what if I need the long stems? And I've never once needed long stems. What we don't want to have happen is like an Einstein hair situation or like a Frankenstein situation. That's what I was going for. We want it to be a little bit lower, more delicate. Now this one I'm thinking for the coffee table, so I want it to be full equally all the way around rather than having a backside where you don't really care what it looks like. Pretty. Now this one is low enough where I could put it on the coffee table. See how it looks right there. Try it on the coffee table. That's better. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. It's so easy to transition your decor from season to season just by switching out your florals, your color scheme, and some textiles. Everything else can really remain the same unless you have some overtly summer artwork or bedding that feels very spring, summer, Christmas, etc. If you use more neutral pieces as your base, like your vessels and your furnishings and some rugs, things like that, curtains, those are really easy to keep and then just swap out some of the extra details. I will link up for you in the description below the fall florals that I have links for this year, as well as some of those throw blankets and pillow covers. You can check out all my other decor sources in my blog post. This is just the beginning of my fall decor tips, seasonal decor tips, all the seasonal changes that are coming in the next few months into Christmas, and I'm so excited to share more details on that, how to affordably update your home for the seasons with a few key points that you switch here and there, and stay tuned for more to come. Thanks for watching today, you guys. Make sure and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you soon.